Length advantage at the moment to Prada. The question is, how long can Team New Zealand live there? If Prada keeps squeezing up like this, Team New Zealand, in fact, there they go now. They've had to tack away to get clear air.
Well, that was an interesting start. Certainly, I think Prada gained the advantage there to get that lured position and to be able to first push Team New Zealand off, as they've now tacked, and Prada joining them over on port tack now. This is going to be the most crucial part of this race, this first drag race on port, where they really assess their speeds and the difference between the boats. And it'll be interesting here to see whether Team New Zealand can come back and still maintain starboard tack rights.
Down on board Prada, the boats now both on port tack. The first slight advantage we saw there was to Prada having the leeward advantage. They were able to squeeze Team New Zealand off, but this will be the true test. One thing that we've both noted here ashore is that the Team New Zealand sails, the mainsail and the jib, the shape of those sails look quite deep. Great shot there, looking across at Team New Zealand, down to leeward. Russell Couch just looking over his shoulder. Behind him, Brad Butterworth looking up the course, looking for breeze and wind direction, heading towards the East Coast bays.
Team New Zealand back with a gain.
Well, the most interesting thing out of all this, though, is that the advantages that both boats have really probably come down more to wind shifts, where it's flicked 10 degrees either way, rather than necessarily any boat speed test.
Here we go again.
Team New Zealand coming in on starboard.
Prada can't cross this time. Prada go for safe leeward bow, I would think. Stand by Prada attacking. Team New Zealand going to dip. Watch the wheel there. Watch Coots on the wheel. No, they're going safe leeward bow. So watch Team New Zealand to get out of there fairly quickly. Breaking right now. Now you can see the power of the right towards the top of the course here. You can see why we talk all the time about the power of the right, because Prada cannot get across Team New Zealand's bow. They have to, every time, give way to Team New Zealand. Prada, again, will go safe leeward if they can't cross. No other options. Prada will not dip. They'll tack to leeward. Slight gain to Team New Zealand, I'd say. They'll keep their bow down. They'll go very fast at them. Took Prada a little late last time in tacking. Now, Team New Zealand might live there. Team New Zealand might live there to the top mark. Pendulum swung back to Team New Zealand here, big time. They're off them. Don't know how close they are to this ley line. That's important. Team New Zealand starting to crank up here. Look, Gain has got off them.
So Team New Zealand now with the advantage. They are in the windward position. And it's not just a question, Chris, is it, of the bow in front of Prada, but they are out to the left, therefore in the windward position.
I thought Prada were late in that tack, and we talked, as Team New Zealand approached, I said going fast. What I mean by that is they put their bow down, they came away from the breeze, drove at Prada, made Prada tack slightly early, used that extra inertia to slingshot up to windward to be in the controlling position you see now.
Put them away. I want you to put them away now.
That's the voice of Simon Dalton.
Prada going again, look, they're early. Going back.
Dummy tack by Prada. The New Zealanders haven't bought it again.
They're actually losing by doing this. They should just go fast to the ley line, make Team New Zealand be the first one to attack and follow them round.
Yeah, almost.
That's what I think they'll do now. And then there's the mark.
Come down.
This is Mark 1, Race 1. America's Cup. You can see there the two dummy tacks, and the New Zealanders haven't bought it. Twice Torben Grail tried to suck the New Zealanders in, but Brad Butterworth had his antenna up and knew what the Italians were trying to do. And as Chris has said, the Italians have paid for it. Coming to mark number 1, race 1. America's Cup 2000, being sailed on the Hauraki Gulf out of Auckland, New Zealand. And it's the defenders, Team New Zealand, picking up where they left off on May 13, 1995, in front. Team New Zealand, Dean Phipps in the bow, with Joey Allen, Matt Mason on the mast.
Go, Ben. Go, Benny. Sheeta Battler, Button.
Sheeta Battler, that is
Pretty deep.
Simon
pretty
Daubney
deep,
talking to Robbie
Real
Naismith.
deep.
Robbie Naismith's nickname is Battler.
Go,
And the
Andrew.
New Zealanders have set.
Yeah, you got it.
Prada are saying they're going to do a Zambuca, which means they'll jibe quickly once they're around. The Omega clock ticks off at 22 seconds. Team New Zealand lead Prada Challenge from Italy by 22 seconds after the first beat to windward.
You can see they're looking aloft, looking for the wind, wondering what effect the clouds are having on the conditions. The spinnaker looking very soft there as it's swimming through as each wave comes through. And this is really difficult times for the helmsman to keep the boat moving fast, because you come bow up a little bit to try and build some speed on the boat, but you're actually sailing a longer course. So the helmsman really has to keep his wits about him as he tries to keep the boat going fast. I'm sure that's what Francesco De Angelis is doing right now.
And there's Team New Zealand in the foreground, still with a comfortable lead over Prada. But if we look at the yellow trail there behind Team New Zealand, when we look at these big course changes as we come down, what that's all about is as the wind increases and it decreases, the boat, the helmsman, as the wind increases, he's able to steer a little bit deeper, closer to the mark. As it lightens up, he's got to sail up a wee bit, a bit closer to the wind to try and get a little more pressure in his spinnaker. But at the moment, they're doing a nice job on board the black boat. A little trend that's starting to develop here, though, is that Prada seems to be able to sail just a little bit deeper downwind here. And whether that's just a conscious decision by Russell to sail a different mode, we've yet to see. But for Prada, that is good news, that they seem to be able to sail just a little bit deeper, closer to the mark.
Here we go. Come on, boys, go. Weight's coming on now. Go, go, dig it. Come on, go. Come on, son. Hold, beautiful. Hold.
Well, we're right behind Prada. I don't think they're going to lay that mark. What I mean by that is, in the course they're sailing, they're not going to be able to go around the mark. So they'll have to double jibe.
This is Barry Mackay right here. He's one of the new boys on board, which is a bit of a misnomer. He was on board NZL 20. He has a Whitbread winner's medal. Big, hulking man, Mackay. So it is New Zealand out to the right of the ley line. Prada still inside the ley line, as Chris was suggesting.
And what that means is that Prada will have to double jibe and will lose more. Team New Zealand outside the ley line will come in really fast. It's Joey going down the hatch there.
That's Joey Allen.
Head's already loaded. I would say they'd go for the same one as they used last time.
Dean Phipps, Joey Allen, Matthew Mason, Barry Mackay, Robbie Naismith, Simon Daubney. It's Dean Phipps on the bow, Joey Allen just behind him. Mark 2, race 1, America's Cup 30. That's the voice of Simon Daubney. Remember, Team New Zealand led by 22 seconds at Mark 1. A very different angle for the Italians. They're coming in a lot slower. And the Amiga clock ticks over at 22 and is still ticking. It is a game to Team New Zealand as the Italians round Mark 2 and Luna Rossa rounds at 36 seconds. So it goes from 22 to 36 seconds. And the call coming off the Italian boaters, we want to tack immediately. Hurry, 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 we need to tack, is the call coming off the Italian boat.
Yeah, they paid the penalty of coming in too slow there to the bottom mark. And now they've tacked without being on full hull speed. So Team New Zealand in a great controlling position, as you can see there. We have the breeze slightly in the left. The actuals are 10.9, 179, 180. Wind line 180. No change of course.
Often in this condition, as we head towards the North Shore, towards those cliffs, you will get the breeze just rotating to the right. And I know the forecast for is a right-hand shift, giving Team New Zealand advantage. And just in fact, we were looking there as though Team New Zealand, in fact, were taking a bit of a header. Team New Zealand coming back on starboard, back towards Prada, but protecting the right-hand side.
Interesting to note here, Peter, the Team New Zealand looks a long boat, and a lot of has been made of this, that they are, in fact, a very long boat on its overall length, what we call LOA. And does that translate into a long sailing waterline? And you can see them sailing along there nicely. They seem to be using all of the yacht, which is a very encouraging sign for Team New Zealand, because this is very moderate to light conditions today, and it'll only get better for them as the breeze gets heavier. You're starting to see here some of the stories on board Prada here.
Just says hello to all the mothers and fathers of the crew and all our friends. Got a nice little message there to the Italian viewers who are watching this.
Now what's going on there with the pitman is he's in fact just tidying that spinnaker up, putting the walls on board on the spinnaker or on the Jenica that was used on the downwind leg. It's quite an elaborate system of tubes and ropes that enables that man to tidy that sail up and pack it correctly for the next downwind leg.
There's Tony Ray there. Look, that is the topmast backstay that he's working on as they're coming to it. They need big hulking men to be able to do that. And it's Tony Ray and Jeremy Scantlebury to do that. And the New Zealanders have worked out that if you just held one person onto that backstay, they'd get towed away. Now, it's subtle and it's small, but it's all part of the quest for less drag. We know that Doug Peterson, the designers of Prada, go for less drag. That's related to the bulb, the fins, and certainly the New Zealand designers, all designers want less drag, and the New Zealanders have put a lot of effort into that in their rig as well. So this is Joey Allen, one of the outstanding crew in the mid-bow. Notice in his ear, he has got a special hearing aid that Brad Butterworth is able to talk to him and other crew members without shouting above the din of the atmosphere here, helicopters and fixed-wing planes above. So really the key issue for the Prada crew is a much better set, much better boat handling. We're talking fractions here, we're talking nitpicking, but we are talking the America's Cup match. This is only the 30th time there has been a match for International Sports Holders Prize. This is race 1, Mark 3. Halfway through, Team New Zealand round the mark. Remember, they led by 36 seconds at Mark 2.
They're going under them here. They've borne away much more than they would do usually.
Hold back! Hold back!
Now they've got to watch out for Prada approaching on starboard. They've gone under.
Flow. Pulse forward, go downhole.
Prada actually came down there a bit more than they should have done. And not allowed to interfere with a boat on another leg of the course.
Prada trail by 36 seconds at mark number 2. This is mark 3 halfway. It is a gain to Team New Zealand. Prada have decided to do a Barraway as the translation coming to us. And the Omega clock ticks off at 63 seconds. So from 36 to 103, Team New Zealand continue to gain as they go into leg number 4, the second off-wind leg.
Prada continuing to charge at Team New Zealand. We can see there the little finger of breeze on the water. It's shown by just a slight darker colour on the water. Team New Zealand having to rotate their bow towards the right to just get their bow into that same wind pressure. But right now, Prada are really making a charge to get right back into Team New Zealand.
Well, Torben Grail did a nice job of picking which time to jibe there, and we can see there at the moment Team New Zealand still with a lead, but it's been carved down dramatically. It's almost halved since that last mark. And if we come up here, we can see how that happened. Look at the difference in the trails there. We can see Prada sailing quite deep there, and that's because they had a solid wind out here. Meanwhile, Team New Zealand was having to sail a lot higher and less wind. What that means is that the distance there between the boats is closed up dramatically. So I think we've still got a pretty good boat race on our hands here.
That noise there, for those who haven't heard that before, that is the sheets slipping on the drums, on the winch drums. You can see the lead there, probably at least half. There's a great shot. The green mark now is a change of mark at the bottom. It was orange, it's now green.
So less than a minute to mark number 4 to complete the second off-wind leg. Remember, Team New Zealand NZL 60 led by 1 minute and 3 seconds, or 63 seconds. They will still be leading as they go into the final windward leeward. But Luna Rossa has closed the game up. They're very definitely in this first race of America's Cup 2000. Is Tom Snackenberg, navigator, and Brad Butterworth, tactician on the pumps. That shows you how serious the New Zealanders are. They'll be really cranking on to get in the sails quickly. Down comes the Spinnaker. Dean Phipps on the bow, Joey Allen behind him, Matthew Mason behind him as well, and Barry Mackay. Now, further aft, you can see the New Zealand crew on those pumps.
Trimming up.
So that's Simon Daubney talking about trimming up.
Fast as you like now.
Meanwhile, aboard Prada, the translation is be quick, be quick. Do your best is the call as down comes the drop aboard Luna Rossa. Paolo Bassini, Max Fiana, Simon De Mari, Christian Gragio, Vito Valioni up on the front. They're the ones doing the hard work there. Now the grinding goes by. Lorenzo Mazza and Max Gali. They're the only two who have sailed in an America's Cup match before. Expect the Italians for a quick tack. That's what they call. Here go Prada tacking across, and immediately Team New Zealand. Brad Butterworth calls to Coots to tack and stay between their rival and the mark. It is Team New Zealand to the left, Prada to the right.
18 out of the 10. Bring it up.
Well, Prada's starting to lift out nicely on Team New Zealand there, but if we come up into an aerial shot here, we can actually see the reason why the breeze has shifted quite significantly round to the right. Earlier on, the wind was coming straight down the screen, so that's a 10 or 15 degree shift to the right at the moment. Neither boat can afford to tack on to port in this wind shift. It would just be too expensive So at the moment, they'll just keep going like this on this favoured starboard tack. Team New Zealand will be happy to do that at the moment. It just cuts down their options.
This is Mark 5, race 1, America's Cup 30. Team New Zealand still leading. Remember, they had an advantage of 1 minute and 3 seconds last time round this mark. Then at the last mark, that is mark number 4, they were leading by 25 seconds. Here comes the set. Beautiful set by Team New Zealand.
They're clearer than they're going to windward. It's a big gain uphill. What was it at the bottom? 25?
It was 25 seconds.
It's going to be way over a minute. They've more than doubled. They've gone, I would say...
Well, yes, I know there's been right-hand shifts, Chris.
Seems
the
to
oscillating breeze, but in the end, I think we can... An interesting translation coming off Prada is that they feel they have chosen the wrong mainsail today, which is a real admission. After all, that is the power, that is the motor. So maybe it's early yet in this first race, but based on what we've seen, Team New Zealand seem to have a speed edge on this beat to windward. Whether or not it's because of the wrong mainsail chosen by Luna Rossa. Here the Italians coming round mark number 5. They trailed by 25 seconds at the last mark. The Omega clock ticks off at 1 minute and 16 seconds. That is their biggest advantage to NZL 60 in the race so far.
Yeah, sleigh ride downhill, I would suggest, from here. Can't see enough in the breeze to make that difference. I wonder what he's doing there. He waved and then put his hand up and stuck something on the top of the rig. Oh, he's got an earpiece in.
Yes. That is who Brad Butterworth could talk to Murray Jones, or the other way.
That's not those black tights again, is it?
Look good, don't they?
They do, boy, yeah. Red socks and black tights, that's the way to go.
Out to the right is Simon Daubney, who was the first New Zealander. Hello. All right, okay, and you could see they could, because all of a sudden it was danger, danger, warning, warning, and the New Zealanders looking relaxed, and all of a sudden they jumped into gear, and Torben Grail has said, let's see if Team New Zealand follow us here. And the answer is yes, Team New Zealand have stayed. There's Brad Butterworth, tactician there. He's calling the shots.
See the urgency in the way they move. That's why they jump. I like their downhill jive. Jenica jiving is not easy, and Team New Zealand do smart jives.
So that's a big advantage now to Prada. Francisco De Angelis and his team. They think they've chosen the wrong mainsail. They know there has been some boat handling errors as well. But let's not write these fellows off. Just because Team New Zealand's going to win this first race, Prada may be beaten in race 1, but they won't be down and out. We know how good they are. We know how much bottle they have, how hard they fought to win the Louis Vuitton Challenge and the right to win this. But a little more relaxed aboard Team New Zealand with Dean Phipps, Joey Allen on the bow, Matthew Mason back at mast, Barry Mackay's the pit, Craig Monk, Andrew Taylor, Robbie Naismith, Simon Daubney, Murray Jones, Warwick Fleury, Jeremy Scantlebury, Tony Ray, Richard Dodson, Tom Snackenberg and Brad Butterworth make up the outstanding crew for skipper Russell Coutts. And Team New Zealand, NZL 60, come down to the line to win race 1, America's Cup 2000. In the defence of the America's Cup out of Auckland, New Zealand. So Team New Zealand have been able to achieve something that the Kookaburra team could not do out of Fremantle. This is the first win by a team defending outside the United States in 149 years. But look at the body language. No high fives, no cartwheels, no somersaults. This is just matter of fact, we've won, but there's still 4 to go. This is going to be a big win. Remember, the Italians closed down the game last time. They went from 103 to 25. They trail by 116. So Luna Rossa comes down to the line. These pictures being carried live around the world, across Europe, and by Rai Television across Italy. The Italians, the translation coming off is the Italians are very unhappy the spectator boats are so close. Luna Rossa finishes 1 minute and 17 seconds behind Team New Zealand in race 1.
Prada slightly left there. Normally the windward boat is slightly late because you can imagine the start line goes to the middle of the committee boat. So if you're coming around the right-hand end, the starboard end, you have to go around the committee boat and its chain. So you're about half a boat length late. Plenty of time here, and Prada will be able to dial up. Stand by, dial up. Hard left turn there by Team New Zealand, trying to slow. Prada actually going through the wind. Well, watch Team New Zealand trying to get under them. Watch it.
So this is a quick move by New Zealand as they're trying to get their bow down. How quickly? Let's see how quickly Team New Zealand can maneuver. Let's have a look at the Italians, how quickly they can maneuver. If the New Zealanders can get under, they're going to start getting control. Have they got the overlap? Have they got the hook?
Very good move by Team New Zealand. They did a handbrake slide in, stop. Prada went off them, trying to get position, open the door. Team New Zealand got their bow down and got out of jail. Now they've got good control here. I don't think Prada can jibe, although they've got good speed. Now you can see why being on an opponent's transom gives you the advantage. If Prada go to turn towards the wind and luff up, Team New Zealand can go inside. If they go to bear away, Team New Zealand can follow them. Team New Zealand in control, just like in an aerial dogfight.
So that was a decisive move in the start sequence. So Torben Grail has said he's going to take them into the spectators' fleet to shake them off. So now he's pulled out of that. We heard that translation, he was going to do it.
Team New Zealand are watching that. Got the wind in the left phase here, 183 on a wind line of 195. Give the port end bias. Didn't actually get a sight, unfortunately, of the line. We're not allowed up there. Normal tack. Team New Zealand going underneath here. Good control for Team New Zealand. Committal time, 2 minutes. Prada going under them. Prada trying to get down under them. I don't know if they'll make it. They didn't make it. Team New Zealand full control. This could be very close. Watch the umpire flash.
Prada to the left. How quickly can Team New Zealand turn to come back at them?
Vital time here. Inside 2 minutes. Full committal. Prada getting their jibe in. Team New Zealand underneath. Pretty well committed now. Prada to windward, Team New Zealand to leeward. Time and distance the line. Outside the starboard lay.
I wonder if Team New Zealand want the left as well, Chris. Anyway, it is Team New Zealand to leeward.
They want to start tight under Prada's lee bow, full chat at the line.
Team New Zealand are leading back in, are they?
Good position, Team New Zealand. About 30 from it, 10 to kill. Stand
So
by.
it's a question of killing time here. Certainly Russell Coots has got in a controlling position into the final 30 seconds.
I think he's got it smack on. He'll put his foot right on the floor now. Red's in the red zone. Rattle through the gears.
Winding up for the start, race 2, America's Cup 2000, and Team New Zealand are in a magnificent position. They're in the controlling position, in the windward position out to the left. It is Prada out to the right, and the New Zealanders are right over the top of Prada as they're powering on up to the start, coming down to the final seconds, and it is Team New Zealand that have won the start brilliantly right on the start, and immediately the Italians tag before they've got across the start line, and the New Zealanders in the windward position right over the top of them. It's a low-speed tack by Prada to try and get out of it, and immediately Team New Zealand are right on top of them. So going away from the start in race 2, the black boat is right in the face of Luna Rossa. A brilliant start by gunslinger Russell Coots.
Great stuff. Team New Zealand got a real stranglehold on this race right from the start. Time and distance hit it smack on. Full chat.
A vital move, 3.5 minutes back for the New Zealanders to be able to dial under and get there.
They had full control the whole way through. From getting out of jail, they were port boat being dialed up. Prada tacked away, opened the door. We've seen that before. Team New Zealand ready for it. Trimmers with them, got the bow under. From then on, game over.
That really was something because the New Zealanders came in from the port in. It was Luna Rossa that had the starboard head advantage. So immediately the Italians are wriggling.
Downspeed tack. Prada will lose. Team New Zealand will get to hull speed before they come back. Prada tack there onto port. Team New Zealand on their face. Prada tacking away down speed will have lost. Team New Zealand building speed now have the option to go back, having made a good gain, and they've got control of the right. Wind's in the left-hand phase. I've got 175 here, 11 knots. Team New Zealand will come back. Yeah, they're coming back now. They want to keep a stranglehold on this. Great start.
Team New Zealand in the windward position.
Coming up.
Well, there's Prada on the left with the yellow trail, and they've actually closed the game up on Team New Zealand, and if we look here we can see why. We lay the wind on, and look how far left it's gone there. That's favouring Prada. That's Prada there. Now look at the distance here between the two boats. Prada has been able to lift off them there, and the reason that's happened is as the wind's gone left, it's gone in their favour. At the moment, it's still an advantage to Team New Zealand, though. And as we come down again, it's still around about a boat length to Team New Zealand. If we lay on the advantage line there, in fact, it's half a boat length. Team New Zealand's just got to hang tough here, wait for the breeze to shift back into the right a little bit, pick the moment, and they'll come back and they'll still have starboard tack advantage.
Well, that was an excellent start by Russell Coots and his team. They came in from the disadvantaged port side, did that nice hairpin turn, stopped, let Prada sail on by, ducked underneath them, gained control, and this is what it's ended up with a 2 or 3 boat length lead up the race course. Quite outstanding, I must say. I was very impressed with that.
Translation coming off Prada. They're concerned that they might have something on their keel. Maybe a plastic bag, maybe seaweed. This will be hindering the performance of Prada. There'll be a flurry of activity on board. They have an endoscope system on board there. We can see someone would have gone down below looking down an endoscope, which is like a medical instrument that we use to have a look inside our bodies. We can have a look down there. There's blood. Someone's been hit. There's injury on board Prada. Head injury. Someone has been injured. Well, this is always a factor. I hope this guy's okay. Getting hit, gear damage, or getting crew damage, there's a lot of blood there. You can see there the red stain all down the top sides. It looks nasty.
It's Matt Serena on board Prada. He's had a crack to the head, and while he's out of action, it also means that a couple of others take time out to give him assistance. So what we're hearing on board Prada is that the injury is not concerning them too much. There is a bag on the keel, and Torben Grail is saying, I want someone to go over and get it. And there they are working at it now.
What I find really amazing here is that we've seen this before with Prada, their weed clearing device, or to get, in terms of today, a plastic bag off the keel. They are using this device, which is basically a long pole with a hunk of rope on the end that can flush off the keel. In San Diego, we actually had small knives that ran up the leading edges of keel and rudder to get rid of the seaweed. This looks messy.
This is a problem with these floss sticks. You often get them caught around the leading edge of the keel like that, because that big long piece of rope you can see on the end of it wraps right around the keel and you can't bring it out. And you saw them struggling with it. By the looks of things, they've obviously cleared it now, because they must have a window in the hull or an endoscope to look down at the leading edge of the keel, and the bag must have come off. But tough times for Prada as they deal with this injury. It's difficult for them to keep the concentration up, but Torben, and you can see here, is explaining to the crew, come on, we've got to keep working on it here. As Team New Zealand steps out and takes advantage of these problems that Prada's having. This is a real problem for them at this stage.
Well, we didn't hear from the boat. If they can't clear the bag, we're going to stop and get someone to dive in and clear it. This is quite sensational here, Gilly.
Well, this is a tough call. I mean, you know, this is the only way that you can clear it, and they're going to stop, and they're going to have to throw somebody overboard. But we've done this many times. You cannot get down to the keel because the force of the water is so great until the boat is basically going backwards. So this man is going to really struggle for the time being to get down there, and you can see he's already behind the position of the keel at the moment. He's pulling himself forward, and then he'll dive down, but the boat's probably still doing about 2 knots going forward.
Okay, we now have Luca Bontempelli, who's doing translations for us. And Luca, who's this man here? What's he doing, and what's the feeling on board Prada now that you've heard?
Yeah, this is Piero Romeo, the mainsail trimmer. He's trying to slow down the boat to get the bag. They have a big bag.
Well, you can see the yacht has almost stopped now. And it's really in a position whereby they can now dive down and get it. The Genoa just set there, so that's going to pull the yacht away from him, so it's going to be even harder for this guy to dive down. And he's saying, I can't do it, I can't get there. And they're seriously going to have big problems here. I mean, this is very frustrating for Prada at this stage.
Quite difficult to get the boat in a position that he can dive down. He's just struggling, and of course this is just energy sapping stuff, and in fact coming back on board.
It's been a catastrophic day for Prada so far in leg one. Head injury to one of the crewmen, bag on the keel, a man overboard to try and free it. Meanwhile, Prada is stopped and Team New Zealand is racing away.
Well, let's take a look at a replay of this start, and there's Team New Zealand well clear. Beautiful control over the start. There they go, Prada attacking backwards and forwards, trying to escape from Team New Zealand's wind shadow there. And as we speed it up and they race up the course here, we can see that's Team New Zealand with the blue trail just covering nicely, staying between the opposition and the mark. There we saw at one stage Prada was starting to get a bit of left-hand pressure, and it looked like they were getting back into the game. But there they go, they tack back, and that's where they had their problem with the weed and everything around. And look at them there, that was them stopping right in that little blip there we see in the yellow trail. All the while they had to stop, get rid of the crew member. Team New Zealand just plainly sailing away there. That's them with the blue trail, remember. Huge lead of around 550 metres as they head up towards mark number 1. Very, very comfortable sailing. And as we heard earlier, the fact that Prada has had problems really hasn't been the story of this race. Team New Zealand did a fantastic job of taking control right in the early stages. And now we can see them as they head up to mark number 1. Prada a long way behind.
Meanwhile, sailing on, oblivious to the problems and difficulties that the Prada Challenge have encountered. Team New Zealand, remorseless. Dominating. And Torben Braille being translated off the boat to say, let's sail our own race.
No problem with them. Look at me.
America's Cup 2000, race 2, mark 1. Team New Zealand leading. After a brilliant start by Russell Coutts to reinforce, he's one of the great gunslingers in match racing and world yachting. Team New Zealand dominating, the Italians closing the game a little, but then the breeze going back, and Team New Zealand with a comfortable lead. So the navigator is going to take over Max Serena's job. That's Matteo Plazzi is moving up onto the bow as well to take over Max Serena's job. Now they've got to watch out. They could almost hit the mark. Goodness. That is not a good hoist.
Did they hit that?
The Prada crew is rattled, Chris. That's not a good hoist. Chris, if I can also add that we'll take back what we were told initially, because we are scrambling to get information regarding a ring from the crew. We are now told by Bruno Troublé, who heads the Louis Vuitton Media Centre, the information he has got is that carbon fibre rod that you've just been talking about, as they were trying to use it to get rid of whatever was interfering on the appendages, came back and smashed into Max Serena's head. And that is where he got the nasty gash, and how he got it. So it was not a ring from the crew, but instead we understand it was in fact Max Serena copping one from the carbon fibre rod, which is just terrible.
The other right, the port side of the rig. Coming down the port side of the rig. Well, whatever it was a pretty nasty gash. See that amount of blood coming over the weather side like that? Pretty scary. For the whole team and his family. I don't know if he's got wife or girlfriend down here.
We've just heard from Alessandra as well to confirm that that is correct. Thanks, Alessandra. We really appreciate the help. The Prada media PR people have just been absolutely outstanding, and particularly when we need help like now, fast. Paolo and Alessandra have been great, and Bruno Troublé just outstanding. So that's just awful to cop that bad wound.
Well, Prada's done a nice job down this leg. It's been a gain of around 6 boat lengths to them. And as we look here, it's down to under 500 metres now. And if we lay on the wind now, just look how much that wind has shifted to the left. Early in the race, the wind was coming straight down the screen there, so we can see that it's moved about that much there. So it's about a 20-degree wind shift, it almost looks like, around to the left. But at the moment there, they're coming into this mark. That wind shift has favoured Prada. They've been able to soak down towards the mark. When we say soak, that's rotate the bow down towards the mark. and all the time they're closing in on Team New Zealand here, so I'm quite sure while Team New Zealand have a big lead, they'll be looking over their shoulder and realise that they have in fact lost probably at least 30 seconds of what they had around Mark 1.
Yeah, they're free-flying that sail coming into that mark. They've jived without the pole, and now they're going back on the lay line.
Mark 2, Team New Zealand around.
All the way, boys. All the way. Hold. Jump. Hold.
So Fiji, I think there's a bit of a gain here.
Yes. In spite of all their difficulties.
2:19 at the top, so we're coming round. I make it, they're just putting their bow at the mark now, so what's that, 20 odd seconds.
Mark 2, race 2, America's Cup 2000. And the Prada Challenge of Italy trailed Team New Zealand by 1 minute 55, 4 legs to go. It has just been a terrible day for Francisco De Angelis and his team out on the water on the Hauraki Gulf.
Still toiling away, the team on Team New Zealand fully focused. Just tailing out the topmast backstays there to get rid of windage. This has been one of the innovations that we've seen on NZL 60. Pulling down those topmast backstays to reduce windage, to increase the performance of the boat. Gee, that mainsail looks pretty nice to me, Peter.
It does. I mean, they certainly have got that powered up, and I can't believe how firmly it's trimmed. And you'll see as we go down the mainsail here, looking at the spreaders, and as we come down, this fourth spreader here is where it's quite interesting. They have a little piece on it that they can push out and shape the Genoa, and they've done a very nice job of these little technical improvements. And I know this crew will be very, very pleased with how things are progressing so far.
Well, there's Team New Zealand in the foreground. They're forging their way towards mark number 3. They've gained around 3 to 4 boat lengths over Prada since the mark. And as we come up now and we take a look at whereabouts they are on the Hauraki Gulf today, we can actually see there's the top mark, mark number 3 that they're going to. Here's Rangitoto Island over here. And meanwhile, there's the East Coast Bays. So we can see that they're actually quite close to the East Coast Bays there. They're not that far away, which means that if we lay the wind on here and look at the wind direction, that as they get up into this top part of the course around here, the wind starts to get a little bit shifty, a bit puffy, moves around the place, because as the wind comes down over the East Coast Bays, it does start to get a little disturbed. Today they're racing a lot closer into shore than they have in the past, which makes it a little bit of a challenge for the tacticians. At the moment though, Team New Zealand doing a lovely job. It's out to 515 odd metres. That's a 4 to 5 boat length gain over Prada up this third leg.
As they come up to the port lay line, watch the next tag. This is not just about Andrew Taylor and Craig Monk, the famous grinders from 95. It's also about Barry Mackay, Jeremy Scanterbury, about Tony Ray. Big, strong, hulking men. They're just so efficient. Done.
See the clue? Clear the shroud base in 1.
And the way they're able to get the sails in so quickly as well, Chris.
Hold the halyard, hold it! Hold the halyard! Okay.
Hold the halyard means just don't sneak it anymore. They don't want to risk it.
It's Matthew Mason, the big carry tree on the mast, trying to sneak the halyard a bit, but he was chimed a little bit by Russell Coots or held back a little bit. Now this is Matthew Mason.
Okay, first time we're going to see a spinnaker in the cup.
Flow, 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 flow.
Now that is the voice of Simon Dordney. Flow, flow, flow.
Is that his girlfriend?
looks like a gain to me. They were So up on the foredeck now, we've got Piero Romero, who is helping Paolo Bassani and Simon Damari. 149. It is a gain to Prada on leg number 3. They trailed by 2:19, then 1:55. Now here halfway through the race, 1 minute 49 astern of Team New Zealand.
They're not slow, are they?
Spirits lifted on board Prada now after that dreadful first leg. But do remember that they've lost their bowman, Max Serena, so they're one man short on board, which Peter Gilmore obviously means others are having to do a bit more work.
That's right. It really is not as bad as a rugby team being one man down, for instance, but you know, you have everybody has somebody to back up, and Max would have been working there on the foredeck, and you can see the boys are still getting the Genoa nicely packed. They managed to hoist the spinnacle well, and they're still in control. And just a moment ago, I saw Francesco looking around, looking for wind, because he knows the only chance they have on this downwind leg, as he looks back again once more, is to pick up a puff of breeze and bring that down onto Team New Zealand. And they're going to be working hard here to try and increase their speed to get down closer right onto Team New Zealand's air.
Prada have gained on every leg so far after being 2 minutes and 19 seconds behind around the first mark. Prada eating into that lead, but time's running out.
Back onto the animation with Prada to the left, down on that leeward ley line. With Team New Zealand extending out. The call came from Tom Schnackenberg to Russell Coutts. It was around 2.5 minutes to that ley line there that Glenn's drawing in for us so kindly.
Now it'll be fascinating to watch how far the New Zealanders taken this spinnaker. Watch for that, and watch the drop. Watch how efficient they are. Phipps to the right, Allen in the middle.
Yeah, they pull the middle of the sail.
Looks like Tony Ray is up there as well. And then Max Mason is behind them. They're pulling the middle of the sail out of the water. That's Barry Mackay right in the middle of the picture. Andrew Taylor grinding behind them. Go trim all the way. It's the voice of Simon Daubney. What a lovely drop. Power on, sails on. Smooth, professional, calm, and ruthless. Look at the Italians drop as they round at 1:59 astern. So, after mark number 4, Team New Zealand have made a gain on that second upwind leg. Chris.
Yes, as a characteristic, we've all been saying that Prada sail deep. In other words, they try and cut the corner, sail squarer towards the bottom mark. Now, what that means is, yes, you sail a shorter distance, but the boat is going correspondingly slower. And what we've been saying, Team New Zealand sail what we call a hotter angle, i.e. they're closer to the wind, but they go faster. And if you remember yesterday, it wasn't yesterday, on the first race, we had a great shot of them coming into the bottom mark. Prada again were too deep. Now what that means is you approach the bottom mark too slow. And you can see what Prada have done there. They've had to, yeah, that's a great angle to show it. You can see the normal angle they were sailing, and that's exactly right. That's exactly what I've tried to explain. So they end up running too deep, too square, too light, too slow, and well, not very good really. All right, that's the leech line they're playing with. I don't think that's a fault. So you can see there's the clue ring they were talking about earlier that we thought caused the injury.
Well, that was the early translation we had off the boat, but that proved to be wrong.
Now, you see that leech line there, Pajay? They're putting that leech line away, and then it's covered in a pocket of Velcro here, just to keep it out of the way.
Well, that problem that Prada had down earlier on this leg, look at that huge big long drag race out here that they had heading out towards the right hand side of the course here, and of course that's Prada with the yellow trail here. they were forced to just sail along in Team New Zealand's bad air. They could not tack with that jib problem. And now as they head in towards that top mark, mark number 5 for the turn for home, Prada, all they can do is follow along behind. They've lost around 50 metres or so since the bottom mark. So Team New Zealand very plain sailing at the moment, just staying between Prada and the next mark. Prada being very limited with what they could do with that problem with their Genoa car. At the moment, very plain sailing for Team New Zealand.
That's Matthew Mason jumping up high, back up. Now, here comes the hoist from Mason. Look at him blasting it out. Man, such a powerful man. It's Phipps and Allen on the foredeck.
Waiting. Go now,
Waiting now, go now. That's Simon Dorney. Simon really gingers up the crew, doesn't he?
Yeah, orchestrates it there.
Now listen to him, go Battler. Simon is just, Simon Dorney. Boy, oh boy, you wouldn't want to cross him. He just gives it to the lot of them. After losing Max Serena, it's Piero Romeo, who's up there with Paolo Bassani and Simon Damari. Here they go, round the mark. At 2:26 behind, they've lost 27 seconds on that beat to windward into the last leg of the race. The final Spinnaker set coming up for Prada, and the Italians, in a nightmare day, trail Team New Zealand.
Things have gone very quiet on board Prada. Really, they found themselves, Peter, in an impossible position today with you know, that horrific injury, and then coupled with that the problem getting weed or a plastic bag around their keel.
That's right. I mean, it just goes to show you that circumstances conspire on you. If you get a bad start and then a few downspeed tacks and you get behind, then suddenly bag on the keel, and in that flurry of activity of trying to get the bag off, the injury happens, and boy oh boy, it goes downhill quickly. But as you say, they'll be back to fight another day, and it'll be interesting as things go on through this series. But I don't think, you know, over at the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, I can imagine that the America's Cup, the bolts won't be loosening over there. Team New Zealand are well on their way to their second victory here, and they seem to be firmly in control at this stage. So let's wait and see what the future races bring.
It was a brilliant start by Team New Zealand. Skipper Russell Coutts cleaning Prada out. And Team New Zealand capitalising on a start that was as good as it gets in match racing. And Team New Zealand was in the lead and well in control when Prada sailed into a nightmare. Max Serena copping a serious wound to his head and taken off the boat, blood everywhere. Prada fishing for something they suspected dragging on the keel, and then they had more problems. And it went from bad to worse. But for Team New Zealand, it's been all plain sailing, efficient, ruthless, outstanding and impressive. On the 22nd of the second 2000, Team New Zealand goes 2 up over the Prada Challenge from Italy. It can't get any worse, surely. Cleaned out at the start, trailing the New Zealanders, who were well and truly in control. And then Max Serena cops the carbon rod right on the head, terrible head wound, blood all over the starboard topsides. He's taken off, stitches by the Prada doctor. Then they go fishing for something dragging on the keel. Then they have problems with the Genoa track. It's been an all-black day for the Red Moon from Italy, who finished 2 minutes and 43 seconds behind NZL 60. It's Team New Zealand 2, the Prada Challenge 0.
So that
the translation of Prada is Torben Grail has just said he thinks Butterworth wants the right, so let him have it.
Prada tight underneath them here. Team New Zealand wriggling. They've got back onto port. Prada are early.
A lot of time to kill here. They're only 10 seconds back from the line. They're going to kill a lot of time here. It looks as though Prada will be okay for the pin in.
They want different ends of the line. That's making it easy. Prada want the left-hand end. Team New Zealand want to protect the right. We're in a left-hand phase.
Well, I thought we heard Brad Butterworth say there was a port-in bias. Anyway, they're coming down to the start. Race 3, America's Cup 2000, and it is Prada on starboard, out by the pin end. That's what they wanted, and that's what they've got. Meanwhile, at the committee boat end of the line, it is Team New Zealand.
We were right on the start line there, and Prada were about a third of a length late.
So Prada want to tack immediately, and we're coming to the first cross very quickly in this race. And Prada has tacked onto port, and it's Team New Zealand on starboard that is going to cross, is it? What are they going to do? Are they going to protect the right? Are they going to tack in front, or are they going to cross over? They're going to tack, they're going to face them, Chris.
They want to protect the right, the power of the right.
So the early advantage to the black boat. Now both boats on board. Line of advantage even. A net's whisker to the black boat, maybe.
I was amazed in that pre-start when Team New Zealand were on the hip of Prada that they actually late in dialing up and were allowing...
Right, Corbin Grail said he wants to tack. He's got to get out of here.
Lefty, right? Yeah. It's a bit lefty here. Well, classic match racing here as we look there at Team New Zealand there on the left of the screen. That's them on starboard tack at the moment, trying to maintain that right-hand advantage Chris Law was talking about. And coming up, we can see the symmetry of the tacks there through this area, right through here. Brad Butterworth not giving Prada any leverage whatsoever. As soon as they get up to speed, they keep coming back. All they want to do is keep the right-hand side advantage. And here comes Prada now coming back. Team New Zealand tacking in tight underneath them, doing a good job. It's only about a length, but that's all they need. Just keep that slight advantage, keep the power of the right, that starboard tack advantage.
Well, Matteo Plazzi there on board Prada. They'll be pretty excited by this, but they're coming back. He's taking a laser shot right now to look at the range and bearing. And he'll be telling Torben and Francesco how much they've gained and lost. And I must say, I thought the looks on board Team New Zealand a moment ago were looks of worry as they were searching for wind and for the conditions. And the word coming off Prada at the moment is this is the best wind they've had so far. So they're obviously getting a good lift and good direction. So the game might be back on here, folks.
Prada has made a big gain, bow to bow. That's with the wind just rotating to the left, giving Prada a bit of a gain. What Team New Zealand are looking for here is the wind to just rotate back to the right before they'll come across and engage. But Peter Gilmore, Prada in this condition looks competitive.
They do look nice. They seem to be sailing very, very nicely. And I saw Prada's track coming back down a little bit there, and they must be a little bit frustrated by that. But the interesting thing here is that the southerly wind is very, very variable in direction, and it's a very difficult condition to sail in. It depends who opens their door up on the North Shore there and lets the wind through as to whether you get a puff or not.
After being even about 3 minutes or so ago there, we can see that Prada's slipped back a little bit now. Team New Zealand with the yellow trail. Look at the way they've been able to just sail a little bit closer here. Meanwhile, Prada was veering that way a little bit, and that's been an advantage to Team New Zealand. Looks like the wind's shifted very slightly right there, and that's in Team New Zealand's favour. That's them we see there. So it now looks like it's probably out to around 2 to 3 boat lengths at the moment. In fact, it's just over 2 lengths. As soon as that breeze goes a little bit further right, Team New Zealand will possibly look at wanting to come back and consolidate.
We should go.
Okay, here they go. Team New Zealand are going to come. And I think Prada might cross. Certainly they might get tight under their lee bow. This is key point of this match. They haven't had the big ridey they wanted.
Yeah, okay, just hang for that puff, I think. A little high. Sort of coming round his bow a wee bit here.
Okay, PJ, the decision here for Prada. Team New Zealand are going to come out of the right in the next
Yeah, I know.
few
We're going to
seconds.
go on this puff, guys.
Yeah, here they go.
Here it comes. It's going to be a
Stand by,
header, hopefully.
Team New Zealand are going to attack. Now,
So Brad Butterworth saying they've got to go.
yeah, I don't think Prada will cross.
We've got to go. Yeah, we've got to go.
Here they go. And Prada have got to make the decision. It will not go behind. I don't think they will cross. Their only option is to tack on the lee bow. Here comes Team New Zealand.
So Team New Zealand now on starboard.
They're well ahead.
Prada have to keep clear.
He's going to have to... He's going to have to...
We're going to attack, I think.
Prada want to stay to Lewis.
Yeah.
That's the call from Torben Grail.
They're going to go now. They're going to follow it around the top bar.
Yes, we're on the ley line.
Okay, Team New Zealand are on the ley line, so they will tack set. Prada outside them will follow them round, but they will have time to get their pole on and will do slightly faster set.
All right, Chris, the Spinnaker hoist here and the decision on what they're going to do is going to be crucial. Give us the options, take us through it.
Well, Team New Zealand have no option. They're going to tack set. No way can they come away on a jibe. That's a spin hoist. Wouldn't even consider it. We're looking at 14 knots. It's going to be a spinnaker. There you are. Team New Zealand think they're on the ley line. Our animation shows us slightly below it. Team New Zealand are going to lead by about 2 or 3 lengths. Prada will tack on the port, get the pole up, and will do slightly faster set.
Get ready for the action
On
of
the
Mark
change, we've got
1.
a mark, Mike. So it's definitely port pole. 355.
This is really going to put pressure on both crews. Prada are right in this. And as Chris has suggested, they'll both do barrelways, and that will be a wonderful opportunity to Prada to attack if they're only a couple of boat lengths behind.
We're there.
Okay, Team New Zealand on the ley line now. Standby tack. Port pole, barrelway set. Prada tight on their heels.
Mark 1, race 3. Team New Zealand at the top mark, but boy, if they got a race on their hands.
Don't shake, don't shake.
The voice of Simon Dalton in the air. Amiga clock ticking off.
They've gone for Jenica. Team New Zealand are in a Jenica.
Hold back, hold back.
If Prada go for a spinnaker, they'll be able to get down inside them.
Prada round Mark 1, 19 seconds behind Team New Zealand. Now, this is going to be fascinating.
No, Jenica as well. 2 Jenica.
But Prada are in a position to be able to influence the airflow on Team New Zealand, Chris.
Well, the characteristic in previous races is to sail deeper, closer to the bottom mark.
He's jibing, jibing.
Here we go, driving both boats. Team New Zealand were waiting for Prada to make the first move. You can see a man up the mast on Team New Zealand. Better jibe to Prada. Prada here want to get themselves into a position to put turbulent air down onto Team New Zealand. Team New Zealand there, far enough advanced to be getting the wind from ahead of Prada.
Same speed now, but don't go any lower.
Butterworth wanting to keep the bow just slightly rotated right towards Prada to keep his air clear. Peter Gilmore, both boats reaching quite hard now. It's like they're pressing the boats a little harder on this downwind leg on starboard.
That's right. I think the gain certainly on that first port leg was to Prada, but now I think it's very close, and it's actually quite easy to defend against this wind shadow that comes down from Prada onto New Zealand by just going bow up, as you're seeing New Zealand do now, which moves their apparent air further forward. As the yacht's moving forward, its apparent wind direction is the wind that moves down across the race course, and the wind you actually feel on your face is the best way to describe it. And you go bow up, it moves the apparent wind forward and basically moves you away from that wind shadow, and that's what they've done. But the gain goes to Prada because you're sailing a longer course, and that's what we're seeing now. Prada has gained up here, and certainly New Zealand won't want too many more of these jibes.
Yeah, we're faster than him. We're fast. Yep.
Setting up for a jibe. They like their speed.
Okay, it's 3 this way and 5.5 the other.
Go Simon, we'll have a length and a half clear air.
Hold it down.
He's really digging it deep. He's trying to... He's parking it, though. Okay, ready here.
Here comes the jibe from Team New Zealand.
Now, the interesting thing there, PJ, was that Team New Zealand initiated that jibe. Just as they went into it, they got a nice heading path there. Good speed. They initiated the jibe.
Barry Mackay out to the left.
I wouldn't go too deep, though, because it's quite light.
Team New Zealand to the left.
Yeah, he's just in a puff, though. He's got a nice puff above us.
The modern America's Cup boat set against the backdrop of downtown Auckland, and in the foreground, the replica of HMS Endeavour, the yacht that was used to circumnavigate New Zealand, or the ship rather, that was used to circumnavigate New Zealand and Australia by Captain James Cook in 1769.
Fantastic shot.
Now watch them pull the middle of the sail into the boat. Down comes the drop from Team New Zealand. They've practiced and rehearsed this 1,000 times. Richard Dodson there, Murray Jones. Get it out of the water. Done. Matthew Mason to the left.
Prada made a gain here.
Prada have made a gain, have they? Remember, they were leading by 19 seconds, Mark 1. This is Mark 2, race 3. And Team New Zealand led by 19 seconds at the first mark.
Okay, PJ, watch for Prada to come round here, settle and roll into attack. Brad has already warned his gunners he'll go with him. So it'll be a Simo tack. Here go Prada now.
So Prada click off on the Amiga clock at 17 seconds astern. A gain to the Italians of 2 seconds. Expect them to tag immediately.
Team New Zealand will go with them. Going with them now.
And Team New Zealand going with them immediately.
Now they'll put their bow down, try and get going, get rolling, get their bow forward, lock them in jail. Yeah. PJ, the breeze is in the left here. We've got 160, so maximum left pressure. See the bow, Team New Zealand up there, good bow wave.
So this is aboard Team New Zealand. It looks like Jeremy Scatterbury out to the right. It looked like Richard Dodson, was it? Out to the right.
14 this way, 8 the other. Here we are.
Jeremy Scatterbury out to the left. That is Richard Dodson.
Torben just commenting to Francesco that he feels that the race committee will not have a chance to change the course before they get down to the next mark, which means change the leeward leg of the course before they get to the next top mark, which means that they must have a left-hand shift on at the moment, and possibly he's thinking that they may do a jibe set, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Well, if the breeze does go right, it will help Prada somewhat, but a lot of the damage will have already been done. And as we can see here, we lay the wind on, it's gone a long way left. And in fact, looking at the yellow trail of Team New Zealand, they've just rotated, lifted like that as they've gone across here. But now as we come down a little bit closer, we can see Prada's starting to head off a little bit like that, which would suggest that the wind's starting to shift a little bit more around to the right, which is what Prada's hanging tough and hoping for at the moment. Looking at them there, though, they're now a considerable distance behind Team New Zealand. They went round the bottom mark only 70 metres behind. So that's doubled now. So the guys on the black boat would be pretty happy about that. And at the moment, they're more than happy just to keep Prada heading out towards that other ley line, just shutting the options down. In fact, there goes Prada now. They've decided they've got to tack out of there and try and get this game back into the middle of the course.
Well, Team New Zealand tacking to cover. They don't want to let them up, and Prada going back to clear their air. Team New Zealand will extend on for a short while here and probably tack back, as Russell's starting to call it now. They don't want to let Prada out from under their foot. So the word coming off Prada is they want to be on the opposite tack to Team New Zealand, so they're going to throw everything they have at them here to keep out of phase. I was just thinking to myself a moment before how tame this windward beat has appeared so far, that Prada is really doing exactly what Team New Zealand would like, and that is sailing long straight lines rather than trying to mix it up. And here they come. They're starting to mix it up. Is it too late?
The wind shifts coming into play in this third leg, Peter Lester.
Well, what's noticeable to me is that Team New Zealand, as well as covering the opposition, are certainly sailing quite a loose style of race in terms of they want to keep themselves in, because the wind's moving around a lot and the pressure's up and down, they're loose enough that they can take advantage of any change in wind direction. So this is quite a loose style, and now we're seeing quite big separation between the boats again.
It's a frustrating technique, this, Peter, to match race against. Something that I've met Russell on many occasions, and they've done it well. And they continue out about 300 or 400 metres like they have now, tack on a nice wind shift and pick it up, and you just don't have any answers for it. You can't come back on anything. So Team New Zealand will be sailing the lifted course all the time and giving Prada nothing but the headed course. And that really makes a lot of difference out there.
Team New Zealand have been practicing or trialling, and even wind strengths greater than this with asymmetrical. It seemed, Chris, that Team New Zealand had a smaller spinnaker, and the Italians a bigger spinnaker, and it didn't look quite so stable. And the New Zealanders with a smaller spinnaker, sailing at hotter angles. That's what they did last time. We'll try and keep an eye out of that. There's Brad Butterworth saying we're there.
Okay, one thing they have to watch out for is they're going to set this spinnaker here. Prada coming in on the right-hand ley line on starboard, have right of way. Now, they're not allowed to interfere over another leg of the course unless they're sailing their proper course, which is straight at that mark. But Team New Zealand must keep out of the way here.
He'll go, but we'll go above him, mate.
They're going above him. In other words, they're going to windward of him.
Mark 3, race 3.
Stand by
Team New Zealand hoisting their spinnaker.
Stand by head to head here.
Lovely set.
Okay, you're okay there. You're okay there. You're okay there. Come down a little. Come down a bit.
Okay,
Come down a little bit.
Going past to windward.
Okay,
Prada, they're clear. See what I mean there, PJ? Prada are not allowed to change their course, allowing Team New Zealand to keep out of the way. And the umpire boat was right behind watching it. No flags, no incident.
Brad Butterworth calling to Russell Coots. Hold it there, you're okay now. This is a huge gain to Team New Zealand here on leg 3, race 3. Black Magic leading Luna Rossa by 17 seconds at mark number 2. The Omega clock clicks over 60 seconds and still counting. Round mark 3. Prada rounds at 1 minute and 11 seconds.
That's 6 seconds short of a minute gain on one beat.
Behind Team New Zealand.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, there's action on Prada, setting up for a peel. Peter Gilmore, this could be messy. It's got all the ingredients for something to go wrong with that jib still sitting on deck unpacked.
That's right. The reason they're going to peel to this spinnaker is because the wind speed has increased, which you can see they're trying to get the pole back. But with these Gennicas, it's quite difficult to go pole back because they're not the right shape for it, whereas a spinnaker is much rounder and sort of bulbous, more like a balloon shape.
The sail is now clipped into the end of the pole. Up we go on the halyard with the new sail.
Interesting thing about these hoists is the new sail has no load in it until you fire off the old sail. See, as they fire off there, boom, the new sail gets loaded up and then sets out in front. That was a fairly nice peel they've done thus far. They ease it out.
Well, this looks, if that gets around the back of the mainsail, no, it's saved. Now, retrieving the sail back on board. Got it under control. They've actually done a pretty nice job there, peeling from a Gennica to a spinnaker.
Well, this is interesting what New Zealand is doing here. They're going wing and wing, which is just before you jibe over. They've torn the foot of their Gennica here. Now they're jibing over. That Gennica looks like it could go. What do you think, Gary?
Well, that's the first time we've seen a mistake by the New Zealand crew. They got a ripped spinnaker. Gee, it's a white one that ripped, not a green one. They've got about 5 minutes or so to leeward mark, so the question is, do they go for a sail change? You can see they've got an extra bag on the deck there. Doesn't look like it's going to rip all the way to me, but definitely slowing the boat down. So an opportunity for the Italian boat.
First sign of unease on board Team New Zealand. A rip, but it looks to be holding.
We just got to sail deeper than normal mode. And we're
Just
going to be
before
okay
the sail ripped,
Yeah, I
to
don't
me
think
it
they're
looked
going to
like...
try and peel this sail. I think they're going to try and live with it.
Come on, I want to sit up for a peel.
Okay, they're going to jibe it. Now, if it's going to break, it'll be now. They'll trip the pole off. Here goes the pole. Pole coming back. Spinnaker goes inside out, sheet right round the outside. As it loads up, will it survive? There it goes. Turn the boat now. Stand by.
I think a clever move by Russell Coutts staying directly downwind and not heating up too early until they got that spinnaker around. So a good steering job by Coutts.
Get the pressure off it. He'll keep the bow down here. Oh, they'll load the headsail. They haven't got another Gennica ready to go.
Halyard off. Downhaul rope coming down below. Crew get their hands on it. Down she goes inside the hatch. Grinders start whirring away on the winches now, pulling the sails in. Mainsail in first, then the jib, and you'll see the teamwork here as the grinders really have to dig in and wind those sails on hard. Over 5 ton of load on that main sheet rope at the back.
Mark 4, Team New Zealand, leading by 1 minute and 11 seconds around the third mark. But Prada looked to have gained a little on that last downwind run. Just a little bit of a crew test there, Peter Lester, for Team New Zealand, but they handle it well.
There's not a lot Prada can do here. I mean, they obviously haven't got the speed. There's not enough in the breeze here, either in speed or direction, barring catastrophe, for them to get back in the hunt. I mean, they're going to be, what are they going to be, minute and a half behind them? Best guess?
Andrew Taylor to the right, Simon Daubney to the left. Is that Matthew Mason just behind Simon Daubney?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Coming to Mark 5, the last in race 3, going into the last leg. Under spinnaker, it's an asymmetric spinnaker going up.
And that's in 15 knots true. Have they got any spinnakers? Oh, it is a spinnaker. Excuse me. Oh, I'm getting it wrong every time here.
As they're getting ready for the hoist. Palavasani, Maxarena on the bow. The immediate clock still ticking away. It stops at 1 minute 43. A gain of 43 seconds to Team New Zealand and 1 leg to go.
Boy, their upwind advantage, amazing.
They have to upset this man and this machine he's got going for him, as he affords himself a little smile coming down to the finish. I know the feeling when you're comfortable in a race and in front, you say, well, not much is going to happen from here, but you try and keep your concentration up just to get across the finish line and take the vital point.
Well, this is a nice job by Team New Zealand in the third race. Apart from that one glitch that they had with their Jenica on the last downwind leg, they really have sailed almost the perfect race. A brilliant start, winning the first cross and then going out to extend by, well, at the moment, over a minute, 1 minute 40, and it looks like it will be a bit round that at the finish.
Low-key, confident, professional, and remorseless. Going into race 3 today of America's Cup 2000, there were many unanswered questions after races 1 and 2. And today, a lot have been answered. The key issue is Team New Zealand really have got the power to win with. And they seem to be able to squirt out when they need to. Team New Zealand beat Prada in race 3 and go 3-0 up.
Sure the pinners.
Over Luna Rosa.
Sure the pins downwind.
It was fascinating to see the start. It looked as though Russell Coutts might be able to cart Prada outside the ley line. He elected to go to the right. And that gave them the power of the right on the first beat to windward. It was close. But from then on, Team New Zealand simply extended. And today in race 3 have beaten Prada by 1 minute and 39 seconds.
You got it?
Pull it. It's broken out. The masthead, the code 0 is broken out. Now, look how quickly they can accelerate. This is an attacking weapon being used for the first time in America's Cup 2000. The big code 0 is out.
They've still got the other jib up as well. Now, the theory, I think, is to build speed on port. Now, coming down to committal time, 2:20 here. They're very close to the line. I would favour the left-hand side. Whoever leads back, I would suggest.
120 to kill for the pin. Yeah, we could do it. Yeah.
Here go Team New Zealand. They're rolling up the code 0. Got a minute to kill. They're early for the pin.
Whether or not they want the pin, the breeze has been going left all the time, but Team New Zealand are out to the right. Down comes the code 0.
Dial. Prada have to get out the way.
Lay line here, lay line. Yeah.
They're still early for the pin. Code 0's out of the way down below. 35 to kill. Team New Zealand, I believe, are going to the pin end of the line and going left.
The call off Prada is let's just stay close to him.
Team New Zealand definitely lining up for the pin end. Early. 1 minute. Prada coming in fast here. Prada going for the hook. Team New Zealand bow down, trying to match the pace here.
I still think we're deep. I think we're still 5 early for the pin.
Torben Grail has said we want to go on the left. We must have the left. That is the call of Prada.
Too late. Shopping list is in here. Team New Zealand own the left. Time and distance. Watch it. Team New Zealand have got the pin. They absolutely own the pin end.
17, 16, 15, 14, 12.
Coming to the start, race 4, America's Cup 2000. Both crews want the left, and Team New Zealand have won it. For the first time, breaking out the Code Zero sail, and Russell Coutts on his 38th birthday wins the start, down to Lewin and ahead, and out on the favoured left-hand side.
Beautiful. Absolutely own it. Prada can't live there, bailing right.
Immediately, Prada tacks off. The early advantage to the black boat. Wonderful stuff by Russell Coutts in the afterguard with Brad Butterworth, Murray Jones, Richard Dodson and Tom Snackenberg. Brilliant trimming, Simon Daubney right in the middle. And Grant Lorenz. Outstanding stuff by the New Zealand crew to come in from the port end. The Italians had the favoured starboard end advantage. And it is the New Zealanders leading by nearly 2 boat lengths soon after the start. And this in the 7 to 8, 9 knots. The New Zealanders outstanding. What did you make of that Code Zero, Chris?
Well, to be really honest about it, I don't think it made a difference. I mean, psychologically it might, because we're all sat back thinking, blimey, what's going to happen here? They did accelerate with it, but of course that didn't help them because they were able to turn back in good time and own the left-hand side. Now, it was too late for Torben to say it a minute to go, I want the left. He should have, those orders should have been in place at 2.5 or 3 minutes.
It was fascinating because both boats had actually got out to the right. The New Zealanders were out to the right, but they decided long ago they wanted the left. And there were the Italians back out with the power of the right, but that's not where both camps wanted to be.
Okay, here comes Prada now. Back on starboard tack. We're back live. Do they have New Zealand? Yes, looks like they're tacking to leeward here. It's going to be close, Peter.
Well, I just give that slight advantage to Team New Zealand at the first cross. But for the first time that we've really seen, Prada have got the power of the right. Now it's a case, can they hang on there to the top mark? They won't be able to hang in this position for too long. They will be forced out of there, back onto port. But to me, coming off the line, what was relevant was Team New Zealand used the Code Zero to get an advantage, and then with all the mechanics to tidy the Code Zero up, their advantage that they initially got off the start line has been gobbled up by Prada, just being able to sail their boat in a normal mode. To get rid of the Code Zero mechanically did cost Team New Zealand off the line.
A lot of animated input coming in. They know this is important.
This is a gain here to Prada. They've made a gain. Team New Zealand going bow down for the dip. Prada, are they going to take the left or slam them on their face? No, they're carrying on through, so this is a change. Prada electing to give Team New Zealand the right, the power of the right, and looks like both weather programs have picked up something out of the left. Peter Gilmore, that's Prada wanting to dominate the left. That's halfway up the beat.
You know, I think you've got to get your head out of the boat.
Yeah. Prada on board saying we want the left.
It's not the sort of day that
we're into an interesting first leg.
Well, Team New Zealand, they're still with a comfortable advantage of just over 1 boat length on Prada. And remember, they still have that right-hand advantage. Now, one thing that's quite interesting here is down at the start, of course, the wind was out of the left, and we saw Team New Zealand fought for the left-hand side. Then up the course, right around here, Team New Zealand made a conscious decision to get over to the right-hand side of the course. And as they did that, the wind went right a little bit. So one has to ask the question whether maybe Team New Zealand's weather program, the boats have got scattered around the course, actually said to them, left's going to pay in the bottom half of the course, but as you get up by the top mark, the right is going to be where all the advantage is. And as we've been watching this animation, they've extended their lead out now to over 2 boat lengths, or around 2 lengths. So at the moment, as they get out towards that left-hand lay line, the options don't look that great for Prada.
Dean Phipps on the bar.
That sort of gun barrel out to the side is actually the jockey pole.
It's okay.
Stand by set.
Mark 1, race 4, America's Cup 2000, and Team New Zealand in front again. After a brilliant start by skipper Russell Coutts, outstanding boat handling, brilliant trimming in the start sequence, Team New Zealand went out to a 2-boat length advantage, and then it went back to half a boat length, and across number 3, it was the Italians in front. But incredibly, they did not nail that advantage home. They persisted in holding on to starboard and going a long way out to the left. That gave the leverage the black boat needed, so they came from behind. And it is Team New Zealand, NZL 60 Black Magic, leading Prada around the top mark. As Luna Rossa ATA 45 rounds mark number 1, an amazing 45 seconds astern going into leg number 2. Amazing because the Italians had the advantage. Around a third of the way up that beat to halfway, they were in front. And by not staying between their man and the hoop, they allowed an opening for Team New Zealand.
Oh, sneaking off there.
Let's go. That's the voice of Russell Coutts.
Yeah. Playing it safe. Yeah, they're going now. Driving left now. And what they'll do is when Prada come back, they'll go all the way to the port lay line. Safe move.
Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Hold.
And this graphic here is an excellent example of what we were talking about with covering, with Team New Zealand staying between Prada and the bottom mark. When we see the yellow trail of Prada there, each time they've come back, we see Team New Zealand come back and they've just stayed in sync with Prada. They haven't given them any leverage whatsoever. They've just stayed with them the whole time. And by keeping it down to 200 or 300 metres, it means that if there's a little bit of a wind shift, they're not going to lose more than maybe half to 1 boat length. And looking at that at the moment, that's still a lead of close to 6 boat lengths. They've lost maybe a couple of lengths since the top mark, but at the moment Prada's really resigned to the fact that they're going to be second again round mark number 2.
There it goes. Now watch them pull the middle of the sail onto the boat. See the 2 guys in the middle? That's guys from the back of the boat, people like Murray.
Murray Jones and Richard Dodson.
I think Prada have been lucky. They've had a couple of breeze. They've got down to the mark. They might have made a little gain here.
Here you go, Trevor. Here we go.
Mark 2, race 4. Team New Zealand still in front. 4 legs to go. Black Magic NZL 60 leading by 45 seconds at the last mark. This has been a gain, has it, to Prada? The Amiga clock ticking away. They spike their Jenica.
Classic move here, Peter, is for Team New Zealand to hold, sort themselves out, wait for Prada to come round. When Prada break right, Team New Zealand will go with them.
The clock's still ticking. Over half a minute and still going. As Prada round 39 seconds. So they've taken 6 seconds out of Team New Zealand. Going into leg number 3, the second beat to win. Torben Grail is telling his crew, don't give up, guys. Anything can happen here.
And in this animation, we see Prada with the yellow trail on the left-hand side, Team New Zealand on the right. And if we lay the wind on, we can see that it's gone right. And, of course, that's all good news for Team New Zealand. They're the one on the right-hand side to take advantage of that. And then if we lay the advantage line on, we can see that, in fact, Team New Zealand's opened up again. So being on that right-hand side, looks like they're getting a sniff of right-hand pressure that Prada perhaps isn't. And at the moment, Prada will be looking, waiting, hoping for a bit of left-hand shift to try and go back and close the game up.
Onboard Prada. They don't look very animated, Peter Gilmore. This could be the race that sinks Prada.
Well, it's tough when you're behind in a position like this and the yacht in front is making the perfect moves and good placement.
Black Magic ends at L60 at Mark 3, halfway through race 4, America's Cup 2000. And they're still in front. Team New Zealand were leading by 39 seconds at mark number 2. Team New Zealand leading by 39 seconds at mark number 2. Looks as though they've taken over a minute out of Prada on the speed to windward. A minute exactly on the Omega clock. Prada trail Black Magic ends at L60 by 1 minute 39 going into leg number 4, the second off wind leg.
That's their true wind speed there and true wind direction. On board, I suspect Prada. I'm not actually sure which boat it is, but that's what they're looking at. You can see the wind tracking there, not only in speed but also in direction. It is Prada. Great shot from the camera there. Here we go.
Here comes the spike now.
What they do is get the middle of the sail into the boat as soon as they can. Make sure they don't go fishing.
Now we'll watch the efficiency of this brilliant crew. Down comes the drop, something's in the tide. That looks like Richard Dodson with long arms, who, along with Murray Jones, does help Dean Phipps. Joe Allen is down in the sewer, and Matt Mason. Black Magic ends in L60 round the leeward mark.
Nice turn.
A windward leeward to go, 2 legs to go.
And this is the view Francesco De Angelis on board Prada has of Team New Zealand, looking way up to windward there. At the moment, there's not a great deal the Italians can do. That's a 350-metre lead, an enormous lead in anyone's language, and with the breeze reasonably steady at the moment, all Prada can really do is just try and sniff out little wind shifts and close up some of that enormous gap that Team New Zealand's open up on them. Pretty tough call on the Italians.
Hold there, mate.
Matthew Mason bousting out. I think it's Richard Dodson up there as well. Mark 5. Hoisting for the last time, going into the 6th and final leg. Black Magic ends at L60, still comfortably in front of Prada.
Yeah, well, the big mistake we can make there is by actually, doing wind up doing 2 more jibes than him or something stupid like that, you know.
And this shows very graphically how Prada's been able to come in here. That's Team New Zealand in the foreground with the blue trail. But if we compare the trails there of Team New Zealand there, going at this angle like this, meanwhile, looking at Prada, they were able to get that gust and then just roll right down like that. And that's where they made their big gain. They've closed up pretty significantly on Team New Zealand, but one gets the feeling that perhaps they're going to run out of motorway before they get to the finish, and they just won't have enough room to be able to catch up that distance. It's still a very comfortable lead to Team New Zealand, remember. It was a lot bigger than this, but I'm sure that it's still pretty comfortable for Team New Zealand. There it is there. That's around 10 boat lengths, so it's still a big lead to the black boat.
In all 9 races, Russell Coutts and his brilliant Team New Zealand crews of 95 and 2000 have led at every mark.
Okay, here we go.
Team New Zealand win race 4 of America's Cup 2000 and go to match point. One more win by Team New Zealand means the Everest of yachting will stay in Auckland. Meanwhile, Prada must win the next 5 races. It's Team New Zealand 4, the Prada Challenge of Italy 0. Race 5 round the ends. It is Team New Zealand who are coming in from the starboard end. Prada coming in from the port end of the line.
good entry by Team New Zealand. They normally coming in from the weather end of the line. You'll be a little late because of the anchor chain and the start lights halfway down the committee boat. Whereas the flat chat. No chance of Prada getting around the bow of Team New Zealand from this angle. By Dalla. Tension's going out.
Prada to the left.
Slight turn. Look at that. I'm wondering whether they could reverse the tab in the back side of the skeg here, because they just stopped at Team New Zealand.
He's still up for attack.
Beautiful positioning by Barker, just a little bit further out. Wants to keep a boat length to windward. Now we're going to see whether Prada can nibble.
We're going backwards here. He's back.
Torben Grail has told Francisco de Angelis he likes the right.
Both boats on port deck now, guys.
Yeah, both boats on port. So windward boat must keep clear. Both boats actually going backwards. The rules don't make any account for going backwards and forwards.
Both boats on port deck here, Nino, so that's all right.
Ricomincia a vedere. Sta mettendo a tua. Guarda che è una fuori là.
We're going backwards here, Prada, windward boat must keep clear.
He's coming out a little bit.
Tirare la rana, il gioco no. Sto dicendo di cattare più.
Be a minute 10, guys, Tommy Bill.
Devi fare qualcosa, poi ci mancano solo. Lui sta dall'altra parte, aspetta,
Faster than Team New Zealand. Coming back to square each other here.
We'll have a stern problem now. Yeah.
Boy, this is a trial of strength. New Zealanders.
Get it going, guys. Get it going. 2 minutes 15. He's parked that way. Still got a great chance of diving in, Dino. 208. He still hasn't got it, guys. Let him get going. 205. He's still parked, Dino, no problem. He's still parked.
Trimming up. Brad Butterworth saying he's still parked.
55 here.
The translation coming off Prada is Torben Grail absolutely wants the right.
Prada going for the turn down here. Team New Zealand, can they get their bow down? Prada is trying to go underneath. Prada look vulnerable to me.
Deve andare via tutti in punta.
Port and starboard. This could be a penalty. This could be a penalty.
Team New Zealand are on starboard.
Did you see a white flag?
Going fast, it's just broached.
Good control, Team New Zealand. And Prada attack.
He's tagging. He's tagging.
Prada attacking now.
Tagging, guys.
Team New Zealand going with them. I think they're outside the ley line to the port, to the committee boat. I don't think Prada can lay the committee boat. This could be a fantastic start to Dean Barker. The next 15 seconds, we're racing. Dean Barker's going to get the start of his lap.
They're on their way to the start. Dean Barker on the helm in his first America's Cup match has cleaned Francisco de Angelis out. Wonderful start by the New Zealanders as they're coming up to the start.
Right after kill.
They're on their way to the committee boat end. They've got power out. They're burning it up. They want the right. And the New Zealand boat is right in the face of Prada at the start of race
Just a
number 5.
slow tech, mate. Slow tech.
Absolutely magnificent. Dean Barker, it doesn't get any better than this.
Fantastic. Absolutely incredible. Well done, Dean Barker. Brilliant start.
Can you believe it? What he'd be thinking 10 minutes out, 5 minutes out. And with the assistance of some outstanding afterguard, including tactician Brad Butterworth.
Okay, this is the long tack at the moment.
Dean Barker has cleaned the Italians out in his first start.
Slow squeeze.
Got to break right here. Team New Zealand will go with them. Start again now. Team New Zealand following. 3-length gain already. Team New Zealand got great speed here. They bow down again. They're using their waterline length.
Corbin Bryant is telling Francisco de Angelis, be careful of the waves. Torben Bryant has said Prada could be in for a big packing duel, but be careful of the waves. Here they go again.
Team New Zealand this time are not going with them. They're continuing to the right. Grab that right-hand side advantage. So the first time Prada came, Team New Zealand faced them, making Prada go back on a down-speed tack, losing the ball. The second time when Prada came, they crossed. They won't go that fast.
That's a very good point, Chris. Do you reckon Prada running speed the last time they tacked?
No, I don't. Here come Team New Zealand coming back now. They've got the windward position. They've got height. They've got the starting side. They've got the stranglehold on this match PJ already.
It looks actually better on the right there now.
90 metres. It's opening up all the time.
Just gaining all the time there, Dino.
Yeah, gaining
but he's
all the time.
only about 25 seconds behind. So we're about boat length and a half. Boat length.
Being below the ley line is they can tack at the pole on before the set. So the 2 boat lengths, maybe 3, no, 2.5 underlay. Stand by tack. Full pole, bear away set, to a spinnaker.
Mark 1, race 5, America's Cup 2000. And the skipper today, Dean Barker, picks up where Russell Cooks left off, leading around the mark. The black boat leading now. Let's watch the hoist on the black boat. And how quickly can Prada hoist and follow Torben Bryant's plan of attacking downwind.
The over 20. Halliard's down from the top mast to 24.
24 seconds astern. Prada trails Team New Zealand. Mark 1, race 5.
It's close though, Peter. Prada roll down inside them here. Still all on. And they've got a good advantage, but Prada will come in, upwind of them, and be able to jive on Team New Zealand's air and threaten them. They've made a little bit of a gain here. I saw 111 metres earlier.
Let's talk about his air, eh?
Ease it, Giro! Fuck.
Oh.
Barry Mackay out to the left.
You've got to calm it down up there, eh?
Let's talk about him, though, eh? About his air.
You know, it's okay, Dino. We just
You know
keep
what
it
the
deep.
problem is? They rushed the hoist at the headsail, and the bluff take got caught in the pre-feeder on the headsail, and if you rip that,
It's only pretty deep, so
you'll have to change jibs. They've got it out.
okay, we're just going to pull forward a touch now and just start pacing it up.
It's the voice of Dean Barker.
Hold forward means that they must be able to cut a bit. Prada are all over their air
Out of
here.
the mark, Captain.
Give me a 4 boat lengths to a drop 4, please, Dean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hear the experience of Brad Butterworth before saying calm it down there.
Prada go for headsail, so they think they're laying as well. They're right behind both boats, and the marker's out to the right of them, so they are both laying. Stand by drop, Team New Zealand. Pole will go forward first, and then Halliard will let go. Prada running in very deep here. There goes Team New Zealand's drop. That's Sterling.
That's a point that Chris talked about. Prada running deep, Watch the angle of attack they have in contrast to the New Zealand. Sheets over the top sides coming in. Now, here we go, Mark 2, race 5. Remember, the New Zealanders were leading by 24 seconds. The Omega clock is ticking.
Get the swimming sheet out of the pit.
We hear up the Italian boat that Torben Graham has said, get ready to tack. Immediately they get round the mark. Torben Graham still wants the right. 22 seconds astern, a 2-second game.
Yeah, I think they had a scruffy drop there. They've come round untidy, and they want to break right. And Team New Zealand, you see they haven't got their spinnaker in. I think I saw the spinnaker getting caught. No, they're clear. Stand by Prada's tack.
They weren't able to attack just as quickly as they wanted. It was Torben Graham told us.
Yeah, basically they pushed the drop, so they weren't set up coming out of it. They had to wait and settle down. The problem is they're running in Team New Zealand dirty air right now. They're right for a while, but they'll lose. They've got to break right.
The call up Prada is be ready to take at 17 knots from 175. Here goes the deck.
Team New Zealand going with them.
So immediately look at what's right here, 45 tacks. It's right in their faces. Black Magic NZL 60 with Dean Barker on the helm.
Team New Zealand want to put their bow down here and move forward a bit to lock Prada in jail.
Now on leg number 3, the second beat to windward. Team New Zealand, Black Magic NZL 60, leading the Prada Challenge of Italy by 22 seconds at mark number 2. Now close hold on the wind and a beautiful sailing breeze of 16 to 18 knots with Dean Barker on the helm. The black boat is in front.
Team New Zealand with a huge lead of 280 some metres, and coming around now up into an aerial view, we can see the top mark away in the distance there. That's mark number 5 that they'll go round for the run for home. At the moment though, we've got the wind still out of the south, flying down across the course. They've reset that mark number 5. It's moved since the start of the race. At the moment though, Team New Zealand just content to stay between Prada and the mark. They'll be covering very closely. They know they have pace, so it's all about just minimising mistakes now. Prada looking for something special. Here they go, taking back, trying to keep the game alive, force Team New Zealand into some sort of a mistake.
Mark 5, the last in race 5, America's Cup 2000. And the black boat well and truly in control.
Blimey, they're not going to hit that.
Okay, hoist!
Got an extra length around the outside of that one.
So Tony Rayo aft is the other who will join the side. You get an America's Cup winners medal to add to the Whitbread winners medal in the
Nice work.
Now, with Dean Barker saying nice work.
Plenty of breeze here.
It's the voice of Brad Butterworth saying we've got plenty of breeze. It's 22 to 23 knots. Pole coming aft, that's Simon Dawdley. Now remember, Team New Zealand, Black Magic NZL 60 led by 61 seconds.
They've played it very safe up this beat though. They were way wide on that top mark last time round.
At the last mark. The fascinating thing is, in all previous 4 races, Prada has not finished within a minute of the black boat.
They're still ways from
60 seconds tick over now.
Aspetta. Molla.
Has Lumaros right 45. Rounds the top mark for the last time in race 5 and clicks off at 1:13 behind. That's against Team New Zealand at 12 seconds.
Look at that fill. Low come on the rig then. They're off. And they've got a riding turn by the look of it, and the weather runner.
Oh, that crease just coming on us.
Oh no, they've just looped it round the top.
Ops attack at the moment, so it's yellow boat, southeast tip.
That? Still got ways to go down here.
Another 2 minutes this way.
25 knots in it.
Cole's coming up.
Yeah.
Cole.
Okay, time for me to sign off. Thank everyone. Francesco, mate, don't be so upset. You look as though you're real agony. You're a great guy, and you've represented your country well. They changed prime ministers so many times. Perhaps they should vote you in.
Yes, you actually have seen over the years, Chris, how the America's Cup can destroy some sailors. I hope this wonderful team from Prada don't take it so seriously and bounce back.
No, stand up straight, Francesco, and Torben. Torben's a wonderful guy too. The whole team, fantastic. We won a brilliant Challenge Series. It gave us a thrill. Honestly, that 5-4 win in the Louis Vuitton Cup final was just so exciting to watch.
Still working hard on Prada. They haven't given up.
Last job of this America's Cup, I would suggest.
Come on, boys. 10 metres.
And by sleigh ride boat. 5 years to this moment.
Oh, 1 metre, guys.
That's where.
Down all, please. Down all.
Yeah.
The boys, Simon Dorney, Brad Butterworth, they're working right to the finish.
Probably wind this on a little bit.
The finish, race 5, America's Cup 2000. And Black Magic Intel 60 is about to complete a stunning clean sweep. 5-0 over the Prada Challenge from Italy. This outstanding achievement has rolled on from May 95 when Team New Zealand won the America's Cup of San Diego. So then Team New Zealand faced the daunting task of defending sailing's biggest prize in Auckland. Last October, 11 challengers started in what was to become the best Louis Vuitton Challenger Series ever. After 202 races, it was Prada who became the 30th challenger for the America's Cup. Out of the anxious cloud of speculation and uncertainty that was around at the start of the first defence in New Zealand, it's the Defender that's had the edge with its boat, Pantex and crew work. In every facet of this complex game, Team New Zealand has been better. Prada proved how good they are to win the Louis Vuitton, but being the best of the challengers has not been good enough this time, because the Defenders have taken the game to a new level. The quest for sport's oldest prize started back in 1851. Now at the dawn of a new century for the America's Cup, it's black to the future. On the 2nd of March 2000, history on the Hauraki Gulf as Team New Zealand retains the heavyweight crown of world sailing. For the first time in 149 years of competition for yachting's holy grail, Team New Zealand complete the first successful defence of the America's Cup outside America. The America's Cup is still New Zealand's Cup.
Oh, this bro. Come on, just get it down.
This has been the best America's Cup, and Team New Zealand are still the best. San Diego 95 5-0, Auckland 2000 5-0. Team New Zealand, unbeaten, are still the giants of world sailing by setting a new standard in the 30th edition of the America's Cup. And for the first time, Prada finished within a minute of Team New Zealand, 48 seconds behind.
Tom Schnackenberg, key in the design, key on board in the sailing team. And away she goes. Joey Allen enjoying. Francesco De Angelis, don't feel downhearted. You've done a wonderful job. Made lots of friends in New Zealand. Let's just hope he's back
for the next Louis Vuitton Cup in whatever year that is, around 2003.